The cross is a paradox because it gives us salvation on one hand, but it is also a sign of suffering. And when we look at our lives and we try to examine our existence, we know that life is always filled with suffering. It is primitive to think that we are going to achieve a life or a state where there is no suffering. It is naive to think that all we want to achieve in life is simply happiness. And there are a lot of people, young people especially, but sometimes people who don't grow up emotionally and spiritually, who are looking for that initial goal that they have set falsely in their lives, to be happy. And they try to do everything to find happiness. They equate happiness with pleasure, and they spend a lifetime seeking pleasure. And most of the time, they end up in a place where their existence becomes meaningless. The cross is a sign that Jesus gives us. And in that sign, He conveys His love. And we spoke about this 2 weeks ago as we celebrated the exaltation of the cross. But in that sign also, there is another message. And that message is that in the midst of our pain, in the midst of our sufferings, we are not alone. The incarnated Word of God, Jesus Christ, is with us in the midst of our sufferings. Jesus Christ, who experienced the worst type of suffering on the cross, He identifies with our pain. And that is a great sense of encouragement. It's almost like going to a doctor and discovering that you have a serious situation. And obviously, you will be panicking, right? And what if that doctor came to tell you that? I'm going to share something very personal. I've had a very similar experience personally. When you hear that type of a message, there's a different sense of comfort that you experience. In the same way, the cross comes to give us that message of hope. Hope in the midst of sufferings. Today, we are reminded one more time that in life, the cross is there because the cross helps us to live a transformation. A transformation from childhood to adulthood. A transformation from naivete into a state of consciousness. A transformation from being immature to being mature. So let's embrace and say yes to this invitation and say yes to the message of the cross.